Alright, Shalom. Honest to the apostles of GMS. Alright. And honest to you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And it's going to be a video heading in on the market crashing that you're going to have pretty soon. Right? And then, hey, you know what? I didn't have no scriptures prepared, but scriptures came to mind. So it says here in the scriptures in the book of Isaiah, knowledge and wisdom. All right. Talks about the scriptures. Talks about knowledge and wisdom is going to be the stability of that time. See, you got a lot of dudes out here that trust in the wealth that the Most High has given them. Because when you go into the scriptures in First Samuel, Second Samuel 2:6, it talks about the Most High being the only one that's going to make you rich or poor. All right. He's gonna raise you up or bring you down to the ground. In fact, the scripture says, "The Most High, the Lord killeth and maketh alive." All right. So you got a lot of dudes right here, right, that believe in that and they trust in that, and as a result, they got proud. But we can see in these things right here, man, right, in these articles like this, these so-called white people, man, these Edomites, in accordance to the scriptures, that analyze the financial markets and that. They're saying exactly what the elders have been saying for the longest, man. All right. Well, that goes to show you just what kind of leaders we have right now, man. What the people, the Most High set up there in a heavy spirit, because they've been predicting the financial market crash. All right. USA going to Russia. USA going to a war against Russia. All right. They've been predicting that for the longest, man. I got videos dating back to 2008, man, and they've been saying that, man. It seemed far-fetched then, but guess what? Sure enough, and definitely the scriptures say, when the word of that prophet comes to pass, you shall know them, man. All right, so that's how we know these are the prophets of the Most High, man. It comes hard sometimes, but you gotta remember, man, the Most High ain't no choir boy, all right. Right, the men of the Lord ain't gonna be no choir boy. When was it Samuel? When he came into the town, man, people were in fear. They said, what business have you come? Have you come for peaceableness, or have you come for war, man? Well, the men of the Lord used to carry around swords, man. You ain't got no sword right now. You can't even have a gun to protect yourself, man. They lock you up in prison for that shit. Where we situate out here in England, man. All right, the cops will pull you over and put you. You can't even protect your family. Right? Hell, even if you had a family to protect, you can't even deal with your family as how you want to discipline your family, because the cops will lock you up, man. Alright, so the world is in absolute turmoil right now. That's what the scriptures say. Alright, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So Esau, when he came into power, he completely turned everything upside down. Right, the order in the family was one of his main objectives, because the whole system of how Jake functions, man, how Israel functions, we're a family-based culture. All right, we ain't brute beasts like you have these heathens out here that just go about their own business. And really, humanity, quote unquote, man, really kind of functions of a family-based type thing, man. You got the leader of the pack, so you can understand. All right, the alpha male in the pack, so to speak, man, and he's got a few females. Right, because if you got a few females, you ain't got to worry about taking care of the kids or nothing. Because when you're in a real manly spirit like that, you ain't got time for that, man. All right, and in so doing, man, your children don't come out all soft and pussyfied like you got dudes out there, man. You know, I'm getting sidetracked, but speaking on various points of Esau being in power and that. Right, but Esau took away the family structure. First of all, he done it by way of saying you can't have more than one woman. All right, even if you got the resources. All right, and even if you got, not just the resources, the taste for it, man. Right, because not every dude is gonna want one woman, man. You know, there's certain dudes out here with testosterone levels out of the roof, man. You're gonna wear that woman out. All right, especially when you're young and you find some nice thing, man. You wear that thing out real quick, man. All right. So especially when you come in, how the Most High set up the Israelite, man. You gotta have more than one woman, man. When we get back into our own estate, man, when everybody's in that real masculine state of being, man, right? Hey, you better believe that it's gonna take one one hit with them certain ones of them women, man. You gonna sleep with it one time, and that's gonna be enough for the year, man. And I seen that in a movie, man. In a movie, like a documentary type film thing, man. That film Marco Polo, man. The concubine in there pretty much said it, man. And they was just talking about a mortal, man. Imagine how Jake's gonna be when we get them spiritual bodies up on them women, man. But the woman said, man, she's happy if she gets smashed one time. That was part of his harem, man. That was his plaything. That was a man's plaything, right? And then women take care of the kids and all that. But see, when Esau came into power, right, he uplifted the women, right, which destroyed the whole functioning of how Israel functions as a family, as a stockhold, namely with your house at the top, all right, man second, and then your women or whatever amount of women you got, man. Right, and your children, man, and the children get taken care of by the women, and if they're men, they get taken care of by the women up until a certain age, namely 12, man. Then you start dealing with your father on some kind of level, man. All right, start taking care of part of the business that your father has, man. Right, whether it's sheep or whatever, man. All right, but not to get sidetracked, I had a precept in mind, and this is in the book of Isaiah. All right, namely the 33rd chapter and the 6th verse, and it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So our treasure, I'll start off with that bit. Our treasure is to fear and reverence the Most High. All right, and when that, by way of that, in the scripture in the book of Proverbs, it says, fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and understanding, man. And when you get this knowledge and understanding, when you see all of this coming to pass, which I'm going to read into a little bit in a second, man. You see all of this coming to pass, it's going to be nothing, man. Really, when our so-called lives fall apart, it's going to be nothing, man. We're expecting it to, man. We're expecting, Esau's troopers to come through the door at any point. All right. And you know what? Bring it on. That's what I say now. Hey, I'm saying that. Right now, I pray Yahweh keeps and maintains, and if I don't have, gives me the spirit to withstand whatever's going to come through, man. And I pray the same thing for I pray the same sentiment for all the brothers of the elect. Right? They withhold the spirit, man. Sorry, rather they keep the spirit in that day. Right? Because I don't know how man's going to be feeling in that day, man. Hey, but sure enough, the Most High put the spirit that he put on them 7 brothers that woman lost in the book of Maccabees. All right, I'm gonna be all right, man. And here's the funny thing: when you read the book of Hebrewisms in West Africa, man. That's how dudes roll when Esau came out there and he was so-called punishing them, man. Mans were just solid, man. They said, bring it on, man. All right, and Lord's will, man. We're gonna get back into that manly state of being to where pain is nothing, man. All right, but let me not get too sidetracked. It says, legend warns we're now seeing the calm before the storm. So what's he pertaining to? This pertaining to the money situation that Jake trusts in his money, and he don't even trust in gold or anything substantial like that. He trusts in Federal Reserve notes, whose value fluctuates. Right, but it don't even fluctuate on an upward curve. It fluctuates on a descending curve, man. It depreciates. All right, the value of your dollar is not going to be the same tomorrow. All right, and what's the proof of that? Because you could buy more yesterday with it. That's the proof of that, man. Right, you got empirical science, you got theoretical science. That's an empirical science, man. Science meaning coming from the word meaning knowledge. That's something you can measure. How much can you buy today with your dollar? Right? Is it less than yesterday? Then what should you be expecting? You should be expecting this dollar to hit some kind of wall, man. Right? But Jake out here, namely the ones that should know better, that know that they're Israelites, right? They got that money from Esau, and they think they're in good state. In fact, the scripture says, when they shall think themselves in good state, that's when the wrath of the Most High is going to befall them, man. So it's a beautiful thing, man. You've seen these articles pop up all over the damn place, man. It's a beautiful thing. All right, because that means our salvation is even closer. All right. So it says the Nascat, all right, which is already here. Wanted to know what it was. It says the NASDAQ stock market, commonly known as the NASDAQ, is an American stock exchange. So it's just a stock exchange, all right? And I don't even know how they measure these damn things, because for the damn, a stock exchange, I thought it was an office or damn thing, or something, man, with some computers, and I don't even know how they make money in them damn stock exchanges, right? But I damn sure know that it ain't righteous. They ain't ripping someone off to get that money. All right, to come out with the kind of gains that they gain up in there. So it says here, right, with the NASCAR breaking back above 5,000 today, right, a legend in business sent by King World News a powerful piece warning that we are now seeing the calm before the storm, and there is really something incredibly there is some really incredible information in this piece, including 2 guest commentaries. All right, I'm not going to get all up into this article, all right, these numbers and so on and so forth. You already know that, Lord's will, I've been pushing enough videos to push that sentiment through. All right, so you already know that information. But now, this is the link to this. All right, I found it over here. All right, a man, where is it? Right, man who predicted the collapse of the euro against the Swiss franc warns world is in for a major surprise. All right, and we ain't in no major surprise, like I showed you, man. The scripture warns about the fall of America, man, your money and all of that. We've been bringing the scriptures out for that. Right, the men of the Lord have been bringing the scriptures out for that. Oh, praise unto Yahweh outside, going back into the precept where it talks about your teachers shall not be put into a corner anymore. You're gonna see your preachers, man. You're gonna see your teachers, man. They're gonna teach, man. The prophets are gonna prophesy, man. All right, whether you like, whether you hear or whether you forbear, man, we're gonna bring this word up. All right, whether it hurts our own feelings at sometimes, because if the word ain't cutting you, man, there's something wrong with you. But you gotta get on point. All right, and in so getting on point, guess what, man? Gonna be reproved, rebuked, to where over a period of time, all right, man, I was going off in that frame. You pray the Most High strengthens your spirit, and it gives you a spirit of integrity. All right, because we've been the genocide has been occurred amongst our people, right? And like the brother said, man, we've been subverted as well, man. Right, so we gotta get back into that spirit of being who we are, all right, and in so doing, understanding the scriptures and where you see these things happening, man. It's like, man, that's not a damn thing. That means we're just closer to what we need, man. What Israel really needs, right? The real community uplifting, which is gonna be your house at whacking these Edomites out here, right, over their heads, man, all right, and putting them to sleep. So, not to put it so graphic, all right? It says, today, the man who remarkably predicted the collapse of the euro against the Swiss franc warned King World News that the world is in for a major surprise. It says, Egon von Greyers, all right, says, and this is what he's saying, right? He says, there's clearly an apathy in the gold market now, right? Gold essentially gone sideways for the last couple of years. It says gold was at levels in June 13th, was at these levels in June 2013, and for 2 years gold has been trading sideways with volatility. And when you go into Esau and how he's doing his business, pretty much he is what they call so words I'm looking for here, he's pretty much manipulating the market so that the gold appears to be a lot cheaper than what it really is. All right, because in so doing he can mask the real travesty that's happening to that dollar, man. So it's all an illusion game. It's all the deceitful game, and that goes back to the nature of this man. He's a devil coming from the Latin word diablos, meaning deceiver. He's a deceiver. That's his nature. He's gonna tell you the truth, man. All right, you can buy an ounce of silver for like $11 right now, but really the true value is more upwards of $50 to $100, man. Right, which means, hey, I wouldn't say you gotta get all up into that gold and silver, because our so-called wealth or anything like that, man, ain't gonna mean nothing in the day with the Lord, man. All right, the Lord said He's gonna feed His men, so a dude that can have nothing, he's gonna have he could have all he needs in that thing, man. And it says, of course, after the big run of 1999 to 2011, people have become tired of gold and are much more excited by the market, stock market. It says But gold has a more completely, gold has a completely different role. It says people don't buy gold for short-term gains. So when you buy a piece of gold, a slab, or anything like that, this is where you buy it. It says people buy gold to protect their careful savings, right, of a lifetime against unpredictable risk, right, that the world now faces, right. That's important. That's an important statement. And it says, I'm gonna read that again. It says, right, against the unprecedented, sorry, not unpredictable, unprecedented, right, risk that the world now faces. It says most countries are bankrupt. That's a beautiful statement, right? Right. So you got, like I've been saying, man, you got dudes that trust in Federal Reserve notes, dollars, pounds, right, yens, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. Right. Go. You go get your little business degree, but you never really have no wisdom or understanding to set up any actual, prospering business or anything like that, man. Where you get your little job and that, you get your little wife and that, you go to your house, now you're all kind of debt, right? Because the house has got a mortgage, the mortgage can't pay off, right? You done marry some black hole, right? Put a ring on a finger, right? That ring is gonna be paid back by someone, so you got more debt, all right? You got a wedding that you got to throw. You got all kind of guests. Jake do it big, man. Now you got to pay for all of that over a period of time. So you got all kind of debt. How much more the country? Because that's how America lives, man. That whole principle of the American dream and so on and so forth, right? Big house, big car, right? Big wedding and all of that, right? That's the nature of America, man. That's how it is. So if you're in debt because you've gone for all of these things, of which you don't really need none of that, man. You can get yourself a nice little rented apartment. All right, you ain't got no debt. You can, live month by month. Really going back into the scriptures, living day by day, man. Being content, man. Well, you might have a little family and all of that, but you're still functioning, quote unquote, within this society with a rented house and unmarriedness, man. All right, but then that's the nature of the American society. And guess what? As a result, most countries are bankrupt, like it says here. And what's he going to say here? It says most industrialized countries are bankrupt, particularly the West, right? Because you had this big thing coming into the 2000s. The Eastern countries and the Western countries, and the Western countries are supposed to be richer than the Eastern countries. But what's he saying here? It's saying they're in more debt, so they spend a hell of a lot more. Right? But these so-called oil-rich and resource-rich countries out there, right? They're the ones that really have the resources, but guess what? Esau rolls up into there and ransacks them damn countries. That's why Israel's got his military throughout the four corners of the earth. It is the empire, right, of the United States, if you want to think of it that way. That's what the scripture says in Revelations, the 18th chapter, man. It's going to pour out the wrath of our fornications amongst all nations, right, to assert herself, pretty much. Just to roughly paraphrase the scripture, it says the economies in the West, the emerging markets, are stagnating. It says central banks worldwide have printed trillions of dollars and credit has grown exponentially, right? Now, an exponential curve, right, is e to the factor of x, right? And if you follow the mouse curve, an exponential curve just goes zoop, 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 and it goes all the way up, man. In fact, if I could get it up on Google, exponential curve, right? So you got exponential decay right here, right? If the computer allows me, on a slow connection out here. All right, okay, I'll go back to this because you can see this. You see that's going to take some time to load up, right? But if I zoom in, all right. So this is exponential growth, right? Look at the factors: 900, 2,000, 5,000, right? Now, really, if in fact that'll be time. That'll be time right here, right? Now, what's this guy talking about? He's saying debt pretty much has grown exponentially. So that means, right? If you take this as debt and this as time, right? The more time you increase, the greater, right, and the steeper the line of debt increases, man. This is exponential decay. It works in exactly, works exactly the same way, but works opposite. So as you increase the time, you level out to zero. But hey, you're leveling up to infinity. If I remember my dad math classes, all right, but you're going to infinity. But there comes a point in any exponential with any exponential function, man. There comes a point where this number, it doesn't matter what it is, you get infinity out, man. Right, and that's a finite number to get to infinity. Right, that's the thing about it. And what's this guy saying, man? He's saying here, right? Read the statement again. It says central banks worldwide are printing trillions of dollars, and credit has gone exponentially. Right, so they've been printing all kind of credit and all of that. But as a result, what's the result of credit? Credit is not actually credit, man. Right, that's a play on words. Credit is actually a debit, man. When you get a debit card, what do? Do you put yourself in debt, or when you get a credit card, do you put yourself in credit? So it's a play on words, man. That's the devil for you. That's what I've been trying to. That's the segment I've been trying to push. Right, revealing to you as best as I can for the spirit of the Most High giving me. All right, just this man's the devil, man. So like I've been saying, so as you've been borrowing, let's say this is credit, man. And this is time. There comes a point where this is infinity. Switch it up, and what's really credit? Credit is debt, man. Gonna come a finite time when this debt goes through, skyrocket, man. It's pretty much infinite, because that's how exponents work. All right. Now let's get back into the article, right? And I'm not gonna long it out too much. Once I hit the meat on it, you get the gist of it. You can read it for yourself. Right? It says very little. And printed money has reached the global economy, but banks because the banks are bankrupt. All right, let me read that again. If you didn't get that, these dudes out here within IUIC and Hard Rock Truth that talk about good jobs and all of that. Man, you're bums already anyway. Hell, here's the crazy thing about it, right? We're the so-called bums and all of that, but I really thought about it, man. You dudes got nice houses, right? All right, you got nice cars, and maybe you might have nice jobs, right? You got a hell of a lot more debt than we do, man. Right? And that's gonna be reminded to you when this stock market crashes, because your house is gonna get repossessed, or you ain't gonna be able to pay your mortgages in that day, man. Right? So your house is gonna be that's one thing I figured out. So yeah, we're the bums. That's because the Spirit said out. The Scripture says, "And most likely gonna have mercy on the meek." But guess what, man? Got a hell of a lot more debt than we do, man. Right, £250,000 upwards to 500 to 600, whatever house you're living in, man. Right, in your car, you gotta pay the repayments on that and all that. Now, I'm not saying brothers ain't got debt or anything like that, but we ain't in the hundreds and thousands, man. On the basis of paying it back over time, man. That's still debt. You're still a bum, man. All right, and that goes back into the scriptures in the curses where it says you're gonna be subject to payments, man. And that was to all of Israel, man. Right, and guess what, man? I'd rather be the brother in a rented house, man, right, that knows his place, right? And with the thought that, hey, man, the Most High is going to destroy this kingdom, right? If I get one of these places, right, guess what? The repayments is on that is going to be crazy anyway. So it's not really mine any goddamn place. When you go into the word of mortgage, it means a debt number. So you're going to live the rest of your life trying to pay that house off, man. Alright, it says, we know the major economic and financial problems facing the world, alright, Eric, alright, but now we also have geopolitical issues, right? The situation in the Middle East is still very bad, and the mass migration that's taking place, right, out of North Africa, right, is going to lead major problems in Europe, right? It says 57 trillion of additional debt, right? But like I told you, with the exponential curve, right, that straight line represents infinity. You see, it's getting out to here to infinity. Never really reaches it. When you go into the mass, it never really reaches it. But that point there is not infinity. That's a number. All right. The same thing occurs here. Over time, quote unquote reaches zero, but it never reaches zero until it gets to infinity. That's America's debt, man. Right. You get to a point, a number, right? The debt's just gonna go straight to the roof, man. All right. That's how exponential growth works, man. Alright, you ain't gonna be repaying your debts in other words, man. So I'm gonna just read these headers, alright, and then I'm gonna get out of here, man. It says, so investors, alright, it says 557 trillion of additional debt. So investors have now bigger reason, right, ever done to buy gold. It says debt has gone 57 trillion since 2009. Jeez, I don't even know what fucking, 10 grand fucking looks like, let alone friggin', you know, a trillion, a million, a billion, and then a fucking trillion. God damn. It says all debt has not led to any improvement in the world economy. It says all it has led to is more liquidity, right, in the global stock markets, which are now massively overvalued. So the global stock markets are now massively overvalued, right? Going back into this deception and the ESO plays on the masses, man. Oh, I'll just carry on spending. It's all right. Right? Oh, refinance your house. It's all right. That's the ESO spirit, man. And that's how Jake be running these days, man. And I'm talking about Jake that should know better. All right. It says gold to break 2,000 despite permission. It says for some reason, for only physical goals are greater than ever. It says we're not far from a major turn. We are not far from a major turn in the gold market, which means we're not far from a major turn in your standard markets, in your currency markets. It says the next leg higher will take gold prices to 2,000 and much higher over time, right? And like I said, man, I wasn't going to long it out too long. All right, hopefully the sentiment has been portrayed, namely the destruction of this kingdom. All right, and the evidence for it here. All right, and you know, you brothers stay up, right, pushing this truth and all that, man. All right, say double honors to the apostles of GMS. All right, and honest you brothers that be pushing this truth, right, in sincerity, but the four corners of the earth. Shalom.